Zillow has just released its updated market forecast predictions for 2022. So on this video, we're going to see what their prediction is. Will 2022 be better than 2021? Or will the increase in interest rates bring home prices down? We will also compare the newest predictions just released by Redfin and compare what's going on in this crazy market. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I'm Rob Wosner, a local realtor here in Southwest Florida. If this is your first time on my channel and you want to know everything about eating, sleeping, working, playing, and the real estate market, this is the channel you need to subscribe to. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell so you're notified every time I drop a new video. And we have so many people from across the country and around the world reaching out to us every single day, and I absolutely love it. So if you've been thinking about making a move or selling a property here in Southwest Florida, make sure you take the first step. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to get in touch with me. All right, let's take a quick look at what Zillow said in November, and they predicted that they expect home values to grow 14.3% between November 2021 and November 2022, and to end 2021 up 19.4% from December 2020. Zillow also reported that home sales in 2021 are expected to total 6.13 million in 2021, up 8.6% from 2020. Sales growth is expected to continue into 2022, with more than 6.5 million existing home sales forecasted to close next year. Zillow has been much more aggressive with their predictions compared to Redfin, expecting 2022 to be another record-breaking year, while Redfin predicted homemaker growth to be around 3%. Zillow also put on a disclaimer about the prediction, stating that there are downside risks to their local forecasts that remain. The two big things that Zillow is concerned about are the expiration of the mortgage forbearance programs and inflation, resulting in higher interest rates, which could weigh on housing demand. All right, so let's look at some of the forbearance and foreclosure numbers to get a better look at what this might mean. When we look at the numbers published by the National Mortgage Bankers Association, they say that the total number of loans now in forbearance decreased by 26 basis points, from 1.67% to 1.41%. In fact, the percentage of delinquent mortgages has never gotten as high as it did during the last housing bubble, and at current levels, we are essentially at the same percentage as we were in 2017, and we are pretty close to what the average rate has been for the past 40 years. And of those loans in forbearance, only about 17% of borrowers exited forbearance without a loss mitigation plan in place. On top of forbearance, almost 18,000 homes filed for foreclosure in December, and that's up 65% from December of 2020. But it was largely expected because the moratorium on foreclosure filings ended last July. With that being said, the total number of filings last year was down 29% from the previous year, and is the lowest levels of foreclosures since we've tracked them back in 2005. Even though Zillow lists this as one of the risk is growing smaller and smaller every day, and it's likely that the risk will have a minimal or will be isolated to only specific markets across the US. But it is something to keep an eye on as recovery continues. So let's talk some good news for anyone who did take forbearance on their mortgage. With the boom of the real estate market, if you did take a forbearance, you could possibly refinance your home and still have enough equity that you can keep your house simply by refinancing. Normally you would have to wait, repaying your mortgage for 3 to 6 months before you can refinance, and now is a great time. So with all the gloom and doom of last year and people saying that people would be forced to sell their homes, or there would be an explosion of foreclosures and really change the forecast of the market, that has not happened. And looking at the data, I don't see how that could even happen. In fact, everyone has been gaining tremendous equity in their home just in the past year and has really helped everyone out, which is why I believe Zillow has made such a strong prediction for the 2022 real estate market. The other big threat Zillow is talking about is inflation and rising mortgage rates. I can't turn on the television without hearing about how much inflation has gone up on food, housing, gas, everything. But is that something you should be worried about? Now, this concern has more validity than the forbearance, but it doesn't make much sense based on Zillow's latest market prediction. In early January, when Zillow was saying that home prices would go up by 11% this year, the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage was at 3.35%. But here we are less than a month later, and rates have jumped to 3.8% and still are climbing higher. And Zillow is saying home prices will go even higher than previously predicted. predicted. If rising interest rates are a threat, then why would you become more bullish on the housing market when rates jump over 0.5% in just a month? What you need to know is that even though the Fed said they are planning to raise rates 3 times this year they haven't touched them yet. Yet another mortgage rate spiked 0.5% in just the last 30 days. This is why the one date you need to pay the most attention to is March 16th. This is when the Fed is having their policy meeting and they're likely to raise rates for the first time this year. Elevated inflation tightens the risk of near-term monetary policy fighting, which would result in higher mortgage rates and weigh on housing demand. With interest rates rising over 3.5%, which is the highest since the spring of 2020. Higher rates are exacerbating buyers' struggles with affordability and might dissuade some existing homeowners from moving by raising the monthly mortgage cost, even though those homes price similarly to their current home. Rising rates could drive down sale volume this year. I think there are some reasons that rising rates will not make the housing market crash. The first one is FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Redfin reported that nearly half of all house hunters would feel more urgency to buy if interest rates continue to rise. Also, as we move into spring and summer, that is typically the peak time for people wanting to move. So demand for homes will not be going away anytime soon. Another thing that Zillow is anticipating is they are now increasing their numbers in home appreciation from 14.3% up to 16.4%, which will make 2022 even crazier than 2021. Let me just give you a little perspective on what home appreciation nationally is, and the normal appreciation values around 3.5% to 3.8% per year in a normal market. In 2019, we saw 4% appreciation nationally. So to see these predictions being at 14 to 16% is just mind-boggling. It's like unbelievable the appreciation that they're anticipating. Zillow is even predicting a 4% appreciation in the first quarter of 22 alone. All the experts are expecting this tight market will continue, and we should expect the low inventory levels to remain, while the demand for housing will continue to rise. This will cause the basic laws of supply and demand to keep prices high and continue to increase price appreciation. Now let's take a look at what Redfin is saying about this. Redfin states that they expect growth to slow, sales to stay flat as mortgage rates approach 4% this year. However, they also stated that despite the low inventory of homes for sale and the typical monthly mortgage payment reaching a new high, homebuyers are eager to get their foot in the door before mortgage rates tick up even further. Redfin economists expect the dynamics to shift around summertime, when still higher home prices and rates cause buyers maybe to take a step back. Continuing with Redfin, unlike Zillow's high prediction of home price appreciation from about 14.3% to 16.4%, Redfin is expecting home price growth, which has been in the double digits since summer of 2020, is expected to slow at an annual rate of 7% by the end of 2022, according to a new forecast by Redfin economists. Redfin goes on to say that home sales are expected to remain relatively flat throughout the year, similar to the small annual rate of change they have been posting since August due to the ongoing shortage of homes for sale. Redfin economists expect the 30-year fixed rate to continue to rise steadily to 3.9% over the course of the year. So the prediction on their mortgage rates are very similar, 3.9%, and Zillow saying 4%. Even though the price of home buying has never been higher, demand is only getting stronger. Some of that demand may be a reflection of buyers' urgency to get ahead of rising rates, leaving a lot of uncertainty about how strong home sales will be in 2022. Nonetheless, the ongoing supply and demand imbalance is pushing home prices up and up because there are enough eager buyers to rapidly buy up every home that hits the market. By this summer, higher prices and rates may cause buyers to pull back from the market, but we'll just have to wait and see. One of the main reasons for Zillow's optimistic predictions is home sales. The National Association of Realtors reported that November sales increased 1.9% from October, making it the third consecutive month of increasing. This strong sales growth is the main reason why Zillow's near-term outlook is what it is, and why Zillow says almost 6.6 million existing home sales are expected to close in 2020, up 7% from last year. However, December's numbers were not so good and reflected that existing home sales declined by 6.4%. The NAR chief economist is not concerned with this number, stating that December saw a sales retreat, but the pullback was more of a sign of supply constraints than an indication of weakened demand for housing. Sales for the entire year finished strong, reaching the highest annual level since 2006. He went on to say that he does expect existing home sales to slow slightly in the coming months due to higher mortgage rates, but noted that recent employment gains and stricter underwriting standards ensure home sales are in no danger of crashing. All right, so who's right and who's wrong? We all know that the real estate is very localized, so what happens here in Southwest Florida will not be the same as California, Chicago, Boston, wherever. I will say that here in Southwest Florida, we still are struggling with inventory. We're at all-time low inventory levels with strong buyer demand. More and more people want to live here in Southwest Florida. We also have, a high level of cash buyers in our area, so I'm not really sure that the interest rate will really affect our local market. So if forbearance and mortgage rates aren't going to crash the housing market and home sales are continuing to remain strong, the obvious question is, should you buy a house now? And is it the worst time to buy a house ever? The main thing that is going to control the housing market is inventory. We saw the inventory numbers at an all-time low in December. They're still at historic lows. Home builders have already made strides in 2022 to increase supply, but reversing the gaps like the ones we've seen recently, that could take years to correct. As long as inventory continues to decline and we continue to be at historic low inventory levels, there really isn't much that's going to stop home prices from going higher. We still have strong demand and low inventory. It's going to continue to raise prices. It would take a major spike in inventory along with high interest rates working together to cause a significant decline in home prices. What's likely to happen, in my opinion, is the higher rates will start kicking in and it'll probably take a little sizzle out of the market. So eventually, inventory will be able to rise and appreciation will slow down and bring us back to a balanced market. But that's going to take a while. So if you're still on the fence about buying a home, what should you do? Well, both Redfin and Zillow are still predicting high home appreciation rates compared to historic appreciation rates. So if you're in line with the experts and you believe prices will continue to rise, then this is obviously still a great time to buy. You'll also be locking in historically low interest rates for the next couple months and reaping the benefits of price appreciation for many, many years to come. So what do you think? I want to know how you feel about this market. Have you given up looking for a home? Is the market going to crash? Please let me know in the comments below. If you want to get off the fence and look at buying a house today, it's more important than ever that you are working with a real estate professional. We have the systems and tools to let you know about properties as soon as they hit the market, faster than anything else online, and all of those third-party providers, which could be 24 hours behind. We also can help you structure your offer to give you the strongest offer and get accepted. If you are in the market to purchase a home today, it is more important than ever that you are working with a real estate professional. We have the systems and tools to let you know as soon as a property hits the market, faster than any of the third-party websites that are out there. We can also help you structure your offer and give you the strongest offer to get accepted if you are in a multiple offer situation. If you are looking in Southwest Florida, you need to take the first step. Give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, however you want to reach out to me. I have the systems and process to make this as smooth and easy as possible, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video.